Hi, Mike Stokes with Lush Planet Design, build in the middle of my Best Barns installation, and I wanted to show you a couple mistakes I made, and so you don't make them. So here you go. So the first one is, this is the back wall. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but if I back up and pan from side to side, you can see that that's the back wall right there. And if you look in the middle here, there's an extra stud that I threw in. That is because this, in the instructions, it tells you to make this back wall with two different cuts on the ends. And what I did was so there's basically one wall section here and one wall section there, a framing. And I framed it in place rather than on the ground like they said to, because I'd already thrown up the side walls. And there's not enough room to have the framing on the ground and then lift it up, because the sheathing goes past the ends on the back and the front. So what I did was I nailed the inside to the outside. So I spun these around from the way they were supposed to be, and rather than tear it all apart and do it over again, I just stuck in another stud where the seams on the 4-foot panels didn't line up. So that's one mistake I made. And the bigger and super bummer mistake is this one. The jig instructions that they give you for siding these gable end pieces are a little vague. And the mistake that I made was, I was kind of rushing. I'm not really trying to make this a super clean build. And what I did is if you look at the bottom line, this bottom line, there's a gap there. Huge gap where I tried to attach the gable to the framing, the gable end to the framing. That's because I didn't get that bottom line straight. So if I were you and I was doing this build on my own, I'd run a string tight from corner to corner on each, from right here in this corner. Oh, I got to change the battery pack, to right here in this corner, and make sure I got that straight. And then I would build my jig to frame up the rest of this thing like they show in the instructions. Now also, had I paid attention, I would have noticed that all these sidings weren't quite lining up right. But even with this one, which I didn't have that issue, the siding didn't quite line up right either. So I don't know if that would actually catch it for you. So there you go. There's a couple mistakes I made. Hopefully you can avoid if you buy these models and install them. Have a great day.